hasn't been able to drive it because he couldn't get a title. Could we help? Better Call Harry is coming up.
Well, you buy a car and then you find out that you cannot legally drive it.
And this happened to a man in Union City. He tried for 6 months to get a title, and then he decided he better call Harry.
Tom Johnson lives life in the fast lane.
I'm a fanatic about cars. That was my first car when I was 3 years old.
Tom was born to drive. His passion, old Datsuns and the Nissan Z.
I just love the design, I love the handling, the power.
He's got 10 of them sitting in his yard. Here's his latest acquisition, a 90s Emerald 300Z 5-speed.
It's got 130,000 miles on it, but it drives like it just came off the assembly line.
He bought it on eBay, a car out of Boston with one little problem that turned into a big one. The car had a salvage title.
And they said it was a salvage title, but I looked at the pictures and it was just a simple dent.
The car was deemed a salvage because the cost to fix that dent was more than the car was worth. It was not a problem for Tom. He's worked on cars his entire life. He pounded out the dent, replaced the door, and took the car to a state salvage inspector for a rebuilt title. The car should have passed, but the inspector gave Tom very bad news.
And he said, I'm sorry, but you can't even own this car. It's against the law to sell it to you. You can't get a title for this car. You need to take it back to Boston.
The car's been sitting idle for 6 months. We learned the inspector was a little misguided. The state is discussing new stricter title requirements for salvage cars like Tom's. The inspector applied the new rules a little too soon. So to make Tom happy, the state's Department of Revenue sent an inspector to his house. And this time, the car passed.
How do you feel about that?
I felt like a kid on Christmas morning. I just got one of the greatest gifts I've ever received inside my life.
Tom returned the favor, hit it with a ride. A ride I'll never forget. Okay, slow down. This Z drives like a dream. Slow down. And yes, it's fast. A little too fast.
Well, it's the best driving car I've ever owned in my life, and I won't
Keep your garden.
All right, that was a lot of fun.
You look a little terrified.
I was just a little
Slightly nervous.
I told him I have a 7-year-old. All right, the State Department of Revenue is exploring a change with salvage titling, but the change, if it takes place, will not go into effect until early next year. That's how they were able to resolve this so quickly.
So good news for him. Yeah.
And we will have another story we want to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about